Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to finally be putting on the fourth wheel for the four-wheel motorcycle. Alright, so as you can see here, I have the fourth wheel now finally mounted onto the back of the frame. What I did was I took the axle that I previously had on this wheel and moved it back there since it was too short to accommodate the piece I have to have on the end here for those two pillow blocks on either side. So I just moved the axle that used to be here to right there and then made a new longer one for this. And that was really convenient since the axle that I had there pretty much already had the same keyways I needed for this back wheel. And then I didn't have to remake two new axles. So that worked out good. Over here you can see I have the chain attached there. I do think that the sprockets on there seem pretty small. There's not too many teeth on there to take up all that torque and force that's going to be on there connecting those two wheels, but I'll see how that works, and I think it should be good enough. So as you can see, this wheel does not turn with it. It's just kind of fixed in line with this one, so I'm not entirely sure how much problems that'll bring trying to turn, since this back wheel will have to drag along the ground. I'm hoping that since this has such a long wheelbase, it'll be long enough that it won't have to drag all that much when you're turning. The other thing you saw me do up here was I finally put in the twist throttle. Nice twist throttle right there from Go Power Sports, of course. I just welded a couple really small washers onto the frame here that lead back down to the engine, and you can see when I twist the throttle on the engine moves just like that, and it works really well. I also put in a fuel line finally, coming from this fuel filter back around to the fuel pump. I'm not going to be able to ride it in this video, unfortunately, though, for a couple reasons. One, it's really wet outside from all the snow, and I don't have any paint on this frame, and I really want to try to not ride this too much and get it too wet, because I don't want it to rust too much before I paint it, because then it'd just be a pain to remove all the rust. And I still haven't done anything to this front steering column. This is the next thing I'm going to be doing on this, I promise this time. I need to get some square tubing or something like that, so that'll to take all the slop out of that. Because these square pipes with just that bolt end, there's way too much slop in the handlebars, and it makes it really hard to control. And I'm thinking that with all this weight that's I just added to the back there, and then that spare tire dragging across the ground, will just make it harder. And so I really want to get the steering worked out before I actually try to take this thing for a proper test drive. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with how this thing is turning out. The other thing I wanted to mention is I do have gas in this gas tank that's been sitting in there for a while now, and there's no visible leaks on there. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on that, and if there are leaks that eventually come out, then I'll fix them. But as of now, the gas tank seems to be holding up pretty well. The fuel pump was working good. I did have this thing idling right here. So the whole fuel delivery system is working as it should, which is a big plus. And yeah, so that's pretty much where I am now. Like I said, the next thing will be the steering column. After I get that, the only other big thing I will have to do is the brakes. So that's pretty much the only two major things left before putting on the finishing touches and finally paint. I'm really excited to see what this thing will look like painted. I'm going to go for a red paint to kind of match the gas tank and the engine. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.